$3.2 billion. That's what Trump Tower, 40 Wall Street, and Trump International Hotel claimed they were worth in internal company documents shown to banks and investors. $1.1 billion. That's what those same properties were reported as being worth to New York City tax assessors. The difference? $2.1 billion in underreported value for 22 years. What happened when NYC Mayor Zohran Mamdani put these numbers side by side in front of Trump Organization's CFO? In 9 minutes and 33 seconds, he would dismantle America's most famous real estate empire using nothing but their own documents and a calculator. But this story begins long before that hearing room in 2003, when the most audacious tax fraud scheme in Manhattan history quietly began. Donald Trump was the shining star of The Apprentice back then. "You're fired" had become America's catchphrase. Trump Tower was Fifth Avenue's most iconic building, 58 stories of glass and gold, the structure Trump called the greatest building in Manhattan. But behind Trump Tower's glittering facade, another story was being written. In Alan Weisselberg's office, a quiet man was playing with numbers. Weisselberg had been with Trump Organization since 1973. He'd been the family's CFO since Fred Trump's days. For 48 years, he'd guarded every secret, survived every scandal, escaped every investigation. But in 2003, something he did would define the next 22 years. That March, Trump Organization was applying for a major bank loan. Deutsche Bank was considering a new investment in Trump Tower, but for that, they needed to know the building's true value. Weisselberg prepared the valuation report the bank requested. He brought in independent appraisers. Every floor was examined, every square foot calculated. The result? Trump Tower's market value in 2003, $463 million. Deutsche Bank was thrilled. They approved the loan. But that same month, Weisselberg was preparing another document, this time for New York City's Department of Finance, the property tax return. And on that document, Trump Tower's value showed a different number, $178 million. Same building, same month, $285 million difference. This wasn't just an accounting error. This was deliberate strategy. And Weisselberg wasn't doing it for just one building. He was doing it for the entire Trump Organization portfolio. 40 Wall Street, Trump's historic Manhattan skyscraper. Internal valuation shown to banks, $527 million. Reported to NYC, $194 million. Difference, $333 million. Trump International Hotel, the luxury hotel by Central Park. Internal valuation, $389 million. Tax filing, $151 million. Difference, $238 million. Same pattern for every building. High valuation to banks, low valuation to the city. And this continued for 22 years. But Weisselberg was a careful man. He kept documents separate, used different appraisers, isolated each set of numbers from the other. No reporter, no regulator, no politician was supposed to put these two sets of numbers side by side. He hadn't accounted for Marcus Chen. Marcus Chen was an accountant who'd worked at Trump Organization for 11 years. Wharton School graduate, CPA licensed, one of the professionals who helped prepare Trump's tax returns every year. For the first few years, Chen didn't question it. He figured real estate valuations were complex, that different methodologies could exist for different purposes. But in 2024, something caught his attention. Chen was preparing bank loan renewal documents for Trump Tower. Standard procedure: show the building's current value, document income streams, negotiate the interest rate. While working on the documents, he accidentally opened both the bank valuation and the tax return in the same Excel file. 2 tabs, side by side. Bank valuation tab, $875 million. Tax return tab, $287 million. Chen stared at the screen, frozen. $588 million difference. For the same building, in the same year, with the same valuation date. He went deeper, looked at previous years, and saw the same pattern every year. 2020, bank $781 million, tax $265 million, difference $516 million. 2021, bank $802 million, tax $271 million, difference $531 million. 2022, bank $834 million, tax $278 million, difference $556 million. 2023, bank $851 million, tax $282 million, difference $569 million. 2024, bank $875 million, tax $287 million, difference $588 million. This wasn't just an accounting error. This was systematic fraud. And Chen realized it had a 22-year history. His hands started trembling. Trump Organization was deceiving New York City to avoid hundreds of millions of dollars in taxes every year. And Chen was one of the few people with access to files showing all the numbers. The next 48 hours were the hardest decision of Chen's life. If he reported it, his career was over. Trump Organization had the resources to destroy him, but if he didn't report it, he'd be complicit in this fraud. January 17, 2026, 3:17 a.m. Chen created an anonymous email account and sent a message to Mayor Zohran Mamdani's office. Attached were 340 pages of documents, each one documenting Trump Organization's dual book system. When Mamdani's chief of staff, Elena Rodriguez, received that email, she initially thought it was a conspiracy theory. Countless baseless claims about Trump had circulated for years. But when she opened the attachments, page after page of Excel files, bank letters, tax returns, internal memos, she knew this was real. "Mayor," Rodriguez said, rushing into his office at 6 a.m., "I found something about Trump Tower, and it's historic." Mamdani straightened in his chair. Trump had always been the third rail in New York politics, too dangerous to touch. But the expression on Rodriguez's face said this was different. The next 3 weeks, Mamdani's team conducted one of their most secretive operations. Every document was verified, every number triple-checked. Several covert meetings were arranged with Chen through encrypted channels. The whistleblower provided more documents, internal emails, Weisselberg's instructions, notes showing how valuation reports were manipulated. But Mamdani knew one thing. When moving against Trump Organization, every detail had to be perfect. One mistake could turn the entire case into a political witch hunt. February 5, 2026, City Council Hearing Day. Subject: Manhattan Commercial Real Estate Tax Assessment Review. A technical title that seemed like routine procedure. But everyone in that room sensed something was different. Alan Weisselberg arrived at City Hall that morning. He was 76 years old, but still Trump Organization's CFO. With him came 5 lawyers, 3 tax specialists, and a crisis management team. Briefings had been conducted, preparation made for every possible question, but when he entered the room, something felt wrong. There were far more reporters than usual. CNN, MSNBC, Fox News, New York Times, all there. There'd been no leak from Mamdani's office, but electricity was in the air. The hearing began at 10 a.m. The first hour proceeded standardly. Republican council members asked general questions about real estate valuation methodologies. Weisselberg gave diplomatic answers with the ease that came from 48 years of experience. Democratic members asked sharper questions. Tax avoidance, loopholes for the wealthy, corporate accountability, but still predictable. Weisselberg navigated each one easily. Then at 11:07 a.m., Mamdani's turn arrived. "Mr. Weisselberg," Mamdani began, his voice carrying that dangerous calm. "I want to start with a very simple question." Weisselberg nodded politely. 48 years, he'd heard every question. "What's the market value of Trump Tower in 2024? "Mayor," Weisselberg answered in a soft voice, "real estate valuations are complex and different methodologies. This isn't a yes or no question, Mr. Weisselberg. I'm asking you for a number. What does Trump Organization think Trump Tower was worth in 2024? Weisselberg hesitated. This question was a trap. Which number would he give? Depending on the valuation purpose. Mr. Weisselberg, Ma'am Danny interrupted, opening his first folder. Let me help you. I have Trump Organization's loan renewal application submitted to Deutsche Bank in July 2024. The room's temperature dropped. Those documents were confidential. In this document, Ma'am Danny continued, Trump Organization declares that Trump Tower's market value is $875 million. Is that correct? Weisselberg's face remained expressionless, but something changed in his eyes. Bank valuations are based on certain criteria. Yes or no, Mr. Weisselberg, did Trump Organization tell Deutsche Bank that Trump Tower was worth $875 million? Silence. Yes. Thank you. Ma'am Danny pulled out another document. Now let's look at the property tax return you filed with New York City for the same year. Weisselberg's lawyers looked at each other in panic. In this document, Ma'am Danny began reading, Trump Tower's reported value is $287 million. Silence filled the room. Mr. Weisselberg, how can you have two different values for the same building in the same year? Is it $875 million or $287 million? Mayor, different valuation methodologies? That's a $588 million difference, Mr. Weisselberg. That's not a methodology difference. That's systematic fraud. The room exploded. Reporters were typing frantically. Cameras zoomed in on Weisselberg's face, but Ma'am Danny wasn't finished yet. Let's try another one, he said, opening a new file. 40 Wall Street, 2024 bank valuation, $612 million. NYC tax filing, $223 million. Difference, $389 million. Trump International Hotel, bank, $421 million. Tax, $168 million. Difference, $253 million. Each number was another crack in Weisselberg's armor. In total, Ma'am Danny finally said, emphasizing each word, Trump Organization underreported the value of its properties to New York City by $1.23 billion in 2024 alone. The number hung in the air. But Mr. Weisselberg, that's not even the best part. Ma'am Danny's voice carried that sweet anger tone. Because this isn't just 1 year. A third folder opened. Inside were 22 years of documents. From 2003 to 2024, Trump Organization systematically underreported the value of its properties to New York City. Every year, for every building. Total underreported value, $3.2 billion. Complete chaos in the room. Even Republican members were shocked. This, Ma'am Danny continued, means New York City has been losing approximately $127 million in annual tax revenue for 22 years, total $2.79 billion. Weisselberg tried to open his mouth, but no words came out. Mr. Weisselberg, Ma'am Danny's voice now filled the entire room, I want to read you an email from you in March 2019 to your tax department. Quote, keep NYC valuations as low as possible. No reason for them to compare with bank numbers, different numbers for different purposes. Weisselberg's phone rang. A name everyone could see on the screen. Eric Trump. The Trump family had already mobilized. Mr. Weisselberg, Ma'am Danny said, feel free to answer. I'm sure the Trump family wants to hear this conversation. Weisselberg chose to decline the call. Mr. Weisselberg, Ma'am Danny's voice was now creating a historic moment. It's time to tell the people of New York the truth. How long has Trump Organization been systematically defrauding this city? Weisselberg looked around. His lawyers were desperately scribbling notes. Council members were waiting. Cameras were recording every moment. And then a man who'd answered every question for 48 years went silent for the first time. I invoke my Fifth Amendment right. The room exploded like a bomb had gone off. Alan Weisselberg, Trump's most loyal man, was refusing to testify. Ma'am Danny smiled. Mr. Weisselberg, I'm not accusing you of a crime in this hearing. I'm just asking you about numbers. Why do you need to invoke the Fifth Amendment? Weisselberg's lawyer intervened. My client, due to ongoing investigations— What investigations? Mamdani asked. Federal, state, local, or investigations that haven't started yet but should? Silence. Then let me clarify, Mamdani said. After this hearing, I'll be filing a formal criminal referral with the New York State Attorney General. Trump Organization has committed systematic tax fraud for 22 years, and the evidence is right here, in your own documents. 9 minutes and 33 seconds. That's how long it took for a Queens mayor to collapse New York's most famous real estate empire with its own documents. Within 2 hours, Trump Organization issued a formal no comment. Within 6 hours, Donald Trump attacked Mamdani on Truth Social. Witch hunt. Within 24 hours, New York State Attorney General Letitia James announced she was launching a comprehensive investigation. Marcus Chen. He was hailed as a hero, but he also became a target. He was placed under security protection. Alan Weisselberg? His 48-year career ended with saying Fifth Amendment 14 times. And Mamdani? He was preparing for the next battle. Because Trump Organization was just one name. There were dozens more real estate companies in Manhattan playing similar games. But now they all knew. Zohran Mamdani came to expose the truth. And no one, no matter how famous, was exempt.